Live. Hi everyone, how are you? Hi BlaXit family. If you could hear me, let me know if my mic's on okay, lights are okay. You can see and hear me, let me know. Please, BlaXit family, I would appreciate it. Not sure how many of you are in the chat today. As yet, it's 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock is the time we start. I've been a little bit late recently, but I'm actually on time today. Yay! Let me sort out my water and stuff while I wait for people to come into the chat. So I see some people are here. Welcome to BlaXit. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for the hearts. I'm Nyancho Kajabi, aka Juliet. I am your host today. I am the CEO and founder of BlaXit. So welcome, welcome, welcome to BlaXit. BlaXit is a channel, if you're new to BlaXit, BlaXit is a channel that is dedicated to your repatriation, relocation back to your nation, and that is Africa, the home of civilization. Woo! So yeah, I'm adding to it. So if you're old school and you're a BlaXit veteran and you've been joining us for several years, we've been live since 2011, but actively really since 2019. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being a part. I'm just doing my tea, so just bear with me 1 second. Just having some chamomile tea today. So, yeah, thank you so much. Whoa. You know when you put everything inside the cup. So, welcome and thank you for joining BlaXit. Like I said, BlaXit, we are here in West Africa. We are in the Gambia. Let me know if you can see and hear me. Music Orphan. Good morning, good morning. Thank you so much. So let me know if you can see and hear me. Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you, Kafre, who is our moderator today. Thank you for joining. You can. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, so a lot of things have been happening in Africa, especially Burkina Faso, all over the world. As you can probably detect, if you haven't been watching BlaXit, I should say, then welcome on board to the BlaXit family, the BlaXit crew, the BlaXit team. Okay, welcome, welcome. Just to do a little bit of housekeeping, BlaXit is all about repatriation. It's about us leaving the West and coming back to the best. And that is Africa, okay? And if you can detect from my accent, I wasn't actually born here in Gambia. Gambia is on the west coast of Africa, and it is one of the smallest countries in Africa, and is neatly tucked in between Senegal. Now, Senegal is a French-speaking country, and Gambia is an English-speaking country. And so when I say that, I'm talking outside of course, our native indigenous languages like Wolof, Mandinka, etc. And so because of the colonial wars and obviously Berlin Conference, this is an ex-colony of England. So when one is looking to repatriate, Gambia is number one on my bucket list. Firstly, because it's almost in the same time zone as England, except for when they have time saving, and also because the location is closer to England and the flights are variable and quite cheap and reasonable for holidays, and also it's used to accommodating people from all over the world. So that is the reason why Gambia was my number one choice to come to repatriate to in Africa. And I've been living here permanently for over 6 years, and I haven't returned, and I am absolutely loving my African life. Just wish I'd done it earlier. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. So let me say hello to you all. Yeah. Hello. That's Liliani Resurrection. Hello, Liliana Resurrection. Hello, how are you? Hello, everyone. Wandas McCullough. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? Yeah, good things are happening. Good things are happening. Okay, a number of people. I noticed that. BlaXit is really gaining a lot of. I know you wouldn't think so to look at the views. This is what's weird. This is what I cannot work out. That BlaXit is having all of this reach all over the world. The concept of BlaXit as well. And I mean, we did not make up the concept of course, repatriating to Africa, but BlaXit is our registered trademark. It is our concept. And it is a concept which was coined from the Rastafarian movement many decades ago. So that's where it actually comes from. So Wanda's McCullough said, happy Sunday, BlaXit family. Yes, thank you so much. Hello, everybody. Lara Queen F, nice to see you. Yeah, it's been a while. Nice to see you. I'm here every Sunday, so I'm so glad that you've been able to join us. Liliani Resurrection says, I'm fine. Oh, that's good. I'm so glad you're fine. And Fathia family. How you doing, Fathia? Nice to have you here on the live. Special thank you and special love to you. Of course, you are one of the I would say one of the people that has been with BlaXit way back at the beginning. You've invested, you've got your land, you've developed. So she's one of the examples, actually one of many examples of people that has actually come through BlaXit to do their repatriation and relocation. So if you don't know, we do offer repatriation, relocation services, and I am a repatriation specialist, okay? And I made it so, okay? By trade, I'm a business developer. By education, I studied both law and business and various other subjects too, among those, including holistic things as well. But what's most important is that you're in good hands, and we have helped so many people. I've kind of lost count, I think, but thousands and thousands of people now to repatriate to Africa. And that has, been my raison d'etre. That has been my modus operandi for the last, I'd say, 10 years. So it has been a passion felt, I would say, passion felt divine mission is what I would say. Yes, passion felt divine mission, yeah, for me. So that's what we do. So we help to locate what we call repatriation land. Those are lands in which we negotiate on your behalf and have those lands reduced in cost, so that you can actually come and live here comfortably, and also you can build, you can relocate. We also help you to find a house if you don't want to build. We can also help you to rent if you don't want to buy. So we can help you with all of that, including all the resettlement aspects of coming to Africa. At the moment, we have a beautiful estate which is called Serenity Estate. And that is based in a beautiful village of Kartong, which is a village which is, on one side it has the Atlantic, on the other side it has rivers. It is very beautiful. It is a tourist destination as well. It has beautiful beaches and beautiful riversides. We have a riverside estate. As you know, land near the beach here is called TDA, Tourist Development Areas. So you aren't allowed to build there unless you're doing something which is in tandem with the government in which you would lease the land, okay? So just to make that clear. So we do have lands there. We have lands also in Gunjur, and we have lands in Aneto Sion. We have lands in different locations, okay? And the most important thing is that you're able to come to resettle and to live your life and be happy. So just to give you a very brief précis about myself and Fathia and others like us, we actually, decided that we had enough of England. And, we wanted to leave. So I actually decided that it was important to invest. So I started land banking, and after land banking and getting various plots of land, I then decided that it was important for me to build a home here. So I built a house, which is a nice house, a very nice house. It's very comfortable, has everything that you would want in a home, a modern home. I'm also off the grid, so I decided to go off the grid. So I'm solar based, my house is solar based, and my water also is from a borehole. So I get my water from an aqueduct from the earth, and I also have my plants and my foods. Caffrey, where's the avocados? I wanted to show you something actually. The bag of avocados. Nabby, can you pass me the bag of avocados, please? I want to show you something. I have 2 avocado trees in my compound. But anyway, so I decided to build a house, a comfortable house. You know, I've still got the same as you, still got internet, still got Netflix, Netflix and chill, for anyone who likes Netflix and chill. You know, I still have all of the same comfort zones that I have, but I have a better life. I have a more relaxed life. And the other thing that you are is, you know, debt free, because you don't have a mortgage and you don't have to pay rent. So that's really important. Your power is from the sun. So this is, you know, solar powered, this program here. And also, you know, your water, it's just made my tea is from your borehole. So it's much cheaper. It's much cheaper. You don't have a letterbox. I don't have a letterbox, so you don't have like the same stress, and you know, you're living among your own people. And so there's something which I want to talk about. I shouldn't talk about it now, I should talk about it next week, because I really want to talk about this subject, and I think it's really important that I hammer in on that subject. But before I get into today's live, just a recap. We were talking about something which was very important to us the week before. We were talking about Marcus Garvey. You know, we were talking about, he's obviously one of the greats who inspired us, and it was his birthday, so we celebrated that. And then we started talking about having our own African unity compliance order, okay, which is very important, and I think it's needed now, because I think our communities are getting out of order. We are following the wrong examples and the wrong people, okay, and I think we're being misguided. So I spoke about that, okay. I'm not sure if you remember, but it was very important for us to have that order. If you haven't watched it, go back a couple shows and you will see it. But I can quickly do a recap later on, okay, about that. Last week we also talked about what was going on with the FGM, and also we spoke about, you know, the great things that Marcus Garvey had done and his accomplishments. But we went back to the African compliance order, which I was talking about, and we were all agreeing, if I remember rightly, from thank you. I'm going to go into your comments in a second, okay? I'm going to break from this and go into your comments. From what I remember rightly, I did tell you to send your questions in to me in advance via WhatsApp, okay? So and I said to you, give me the cut-off time by like 1 o'clock. So if you did want to send your questions, you can send them via WhatsApp. That's +220 240 5273. You can text your questions through to us at +220 240 5273, so that we can cover subjects and so on. And so we were talking about an African compliance order. Like, you know, I was talking about like when you watch those sci-fi programs and they have the, you know, galactic confederation, and everybody has to obey these, you know, cosmic and universal rules. They cover everybody, yeah? the Galactic Confederation rules, a bit like what the UN is supposed to do, but you know, that's quite ineffective so far as I'm concerned, because you know what they did in West Papua, I will never forgive what they did in West Papua. And you know, Papua Medica, I support wholly the West Papuans in their fight for self-determination against the Indonesians that have colonized them and that are killing them in a genocide that is of crazy proportions right now. You know, over, I don't even know how many people have died, but they are indigenous of Africa and went to West Papua. And most, if you look at Melanesia, a lot of people don't know about Melanesia or talk about Melanesia or Vantua or those other places, but we have our whole massive family, you know, over there in the South Pacific. So, you know, I don't want us to ever forget West Papua and West Papuans and that fight that they have. And do you know why they did it? Because Freeport Moran, BP, all of these companies are there raiding their gold and their natural resources as ever, because if not, they would not be there. Okay, and what are they doing? They're killing the people in the process. Okay, and that is what they're doing. Leave the people, leave their country, allow them to run themselves, come out Indonesia and leave them to be West Papuans who they are. Okay, and stop killing our people. Always killing our people, killing our people, killing our people. That is why I say it's important for us to go back to the principles of Ma'at. Okay, and what I did explain to you who Ma'at was, who was revered in the old queendom of between 2081 and 2686. Yeah, this is before the Common Era, Christian era, whatever you want to say. It was long, long before that we had our own set of principles and laws and rules that we lived by as Africans. Okay, as Africans. We had our own set of principles and laws. I'm not talking about the Ten Commandments or, do you know what I mean, the Testament. Or, you know, I'm talking about us. I'm talking about us as Africans, okay? And I want to stipulate that, and I want to make it clear. And yes, she is a goddess, okay? So Ma'at is a goddess, okay? And she represented the principles that govern the universe and also the balance, yeah, against chaos, which is known as Isfet. And they are Isfet. So if you didn't know who Isfet is, they are Isfet. They are the antithesis of Ma'at, yeah, the wicked ones, okay? Yes, they are. And so she is an ancient African goddess, and she embodies the principles of law, order, justice, and balance. Okay, let me go through some of your comments. Florence Blackman, hello, hello. Maxwell E. Banks, hello, hello. JB, good morning back to you. How are you? Willie Rivers, how are you? Hello, hello, hello. And Linda, good afternoon, everyone, to you as well. Wonders McCullough, hello. Jambar, hello. Thank you for saying keep it up. Okay, I'm going to just quickly go into where we left off. So last week we were talking about Ma'at and the importance of embracing that and maybe modernizing it, like I said, into African compliant, African unification compliance order, okay? Because we need to have that. We're getting out of order. We need to have that. You know, other nations have it. So example, I put out a post today on my social media platform, the WhatsApp platform. I made a status, and the status was of this man, I've forgotten his name, a pastor called Len or something, and he was giving the example of a group of people. So there's 4 black people and 4 white people, okay, and they have one bread. They're in a situation where they're desolate, there's no food, okay, no food left. There's just this one bread. Jose, hello, yeah, there's this one bread, and they Omar, see, hello, right? Okay, can you delete Omar C, please? Yeah. Okay, you don't need to believe me. I'm living my life. You see, this is the thing, yeah. Proof of the pudding is in the eating. Okay, proof of the pudding is in the eating. So why would you lie? You know, if someone says, I don't want your platform anymore, what are you doing here? Goodbye, delete him, block him, bye-bye. Yeah? Don't come here and spoil it. So let me just do a little bit of housekeeping. This is a high vibration, high frequency, yeah, high love platform, okay? We are about loving ourselves, right? And self-love, so our own self-advancement, our own self-enablement, okay? And it's about us being, right, prepared to change our own destinies for ourselves without needing anybody else, okay? Becoming self-determined, okay? Self-sufficient, right? And in control of our own destinies and self-enabling, okay? And self-proficient, okay? Yeah, Jose, you're right. They always want to distract, but we're not going to stick with that distraction because we don't do it. That person needs to go into a room and ask themselves a very long question, which is, why do they like to lie? This is why we have to go back to those principles. Because how can you say you don't watch my platform, but you're here on it? So what are you doing here? You know, don't lie. Just be honest. Okay, Lynn Lister say, BlaXit greetings. I have missed you so much. I have missed listening to you. All of the encouragement that you pour in for us. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm pouring it because it's true. I'm pouring it because it's real. Nabi, can I have the pears, please? The avocados. Yeah, where are they? I just want to show them. I want to show you something. So that's why I'm asking for them. Sorry to interrupt. Wonders McCullough said, block them all, block them, block them, block them. Fire for bon, fire for bon. Okay. So Jambar said, don't let anybody tell you what you are. I'm African, okay? And I am proud to be African, okay? You don't have to be born in Africa to be African, because Africa is born in you. And, you know, the pears there, avocado pear. The pears from your mum. Okay. Yeah, thanks. She came with another glass. There's an old Mandinka saying. Thank you. Let me take them out. I want to show you something, right? When I was living in England, yeah, pass them all. Thank you. When I was living in England, okay, I just want to show you. So this is one avocado pear, okay? See it? Okay. This is another avocado pear. See it? So I've got 2 pear trees in my garden, but these are not from my garden. I just want to tell you. Okay, this is 3 avocado pears. This is 4 avocado pears. How much do you think this would have cost me in England to get these big avocado pears? How much do you think? Yeah? Esther, hi. I'm here on Sundays, love, 3 o'clock, okay? Nabi, here, come, close the door for me, please, baby. Thank you. Everybody, this is Nabi. Say hi, Nabi. Say hello, Nabi.
Hello.
They can't see, you have to come round.
Okay.
Okay, she'll come. So anyway, I'm showing you these because when I was in England, right, I remember, I'm not sure how much they cost now, so I am going back, obviously, 6 years ago. I remember paying like $2.50, right, for these like 4 hard avocados. Like, how much are they now? Does anyone remember how much they are now? Come round, say hi. Everybody, this is Nabi. She assists me. She's great fun, okay? And she's looking to become a big businesswoman in the future. So you've got any business ideas for her, let me know, okay? So if you hear me calling Nabi, that's what I'm calling. Close the door for me, please, Nabs. Nabs. Close the door for me. You know I'm live, so shh for me, please. Nabi. Close the door for me, please, and keep the voice down because I'm still live. Okay, right, great, thanks. I'm going to ask for you to give me a few more thumbs up, if you don't mind. If you could just give me some more thumbs up, some more thumbs up. I find it helps with the algorithm. As you know, we're not monetized, so you can't give us any of those money things, okay? You know, when you're pro-African, when you're pro-black, you know, on YouTube, And you know, you have a stance against certain lifestyles, and you are actively talking about them and saying that I live in a country which bans certain lifestyles, yeah, then you know, you tend to get targeted by those people who embrace those lifestyles. And so we've been a victim of that. But anyway, so we were talking about Ma'at, and I was saying how important it is for us to go back to those very same principles, because it's like we've forgotten, you know, it's like we've embraced, you know, Isfet, but we've forgotten Ma'at. But we are of Ma'at. We are the people. We are the ones. We are the chosen ones. We are the divine ones. Ma'at is divinity. These are the principles of divinity. The principles of divinity were handed down to us. Okay? So yeah, bless you too. Yeah? Okay, so, you know, this is what I want to say. This is, you know, hi, Linda, you're saying, that's what I want to say. So I'm not talking, you know, out of my head. I'm talking from learned facts, and I've been there. I also went there. I wanted to go and study and to seek out information for myself. And I'm telling you, coming to Africa, even like when I went to Egypt, it was so empowering, seeing what I saw. Yeah, seeing our people, the embodiment of our people. You understand? Seeing the legacy that has been left for us. They left us a legacy. They never left us, you know, no little legacy. They left us a huge legacy to say, look, we are the ones. You are the ones. You are our, you know, they are our forebears. They are our ancestors. And don't get it twisted. So be African and be proud. And yes, they are Africans. They can't take Egypt and say, oh, Egypt is not Africa. Of course Egypt is Africa. What kind of rubbish is that? Because it got invaded doesn't mean that it's not Africa. Of course it is Africa. Right? I know I need to slow down with the talking. Sorry, I get excited. But anyway, Ma'at was born from the god Ra. Okay? Also called Atum. Okay? And she was married to Thoth, okay? And it was through the perception and through the personification of Heka, which is called magic. Now, people have tried to do so much to try and take us off of our natural gifts. We have natural gifts. We are naturally gifted. We vibrate on a certain frequency, okay? We are different. There's no doubt about it. Okay? We are. And the more I live in Africa, the more I see that. Okay? We are. And now I know why we have been so oppressed, so suppressed, why we were enslaved, why everybody tries to do everything around the world, right, to destroy the black woman and the black man and the black child, the African woman, the African man and the African child. That's why. But we have to wake up to it. We have to wake up to it. If we stay asleep, then they've got us. If we think we're the same, then they've got us. We're not. I'm sorry. I just have to tell you this. You know, if you don't believe me, go to Egypt and see for yourself. Go to Egypt and see for yourself. We're not the same. Okay? We're not. We're just not. Come to Africa and see for yourself, we're not the same, okay? And it's high time that we realize this. We vibrate on a different frequency, and we are made of love and with love, okay? And she also is the concept of judgment, okay? Of calling judgment, knowing judgment. And she has 7 key principles, okay? I went over them briefly, yeah? But, you know, you tell me, who are the people that are principal liars in this world? What nation are the principal liars that went around lying, deceiving, and colonizing? Yeah, it wasn't us, you know. So there's 7 key principles of Ma'at. I went over last week the first 2. The first one was the truth, Jijep, yeah. This is a principle that emphasizes honesty, integrity, and alignment, you know, with reality. I'm not talking no AI fake. I'm talking real things. Okay? How many things have black women invented? How many things have black men invented? And we invented them in order to make sure that we could improve our safety, improve our communication, improve our health. But other people have invented things that have destroyed communication, destroyed health, yeah? Certain types of chemicals, certain types of diseases, you know, that are out there to destroy and to debilitate people. That's what some people are creating. That's what some people are destroying, yeah? So the difference between truth and falsehood, yeah? Acting in accordance with what is real and beneficial. Beneficial is a word. What is good for us? They're giving you food with so many, I don't even know what these things are. Like colorants and artificial preservatives and all of these things that you don't know that could be causing all kinds of disease and ill ease in the body. That's what they're creating. What we're having is natural avocados. Don't forget to tell me the price of the avocados, okay? Go onto an online shop or something and tell me the price of the avocados, and I'll tell you how much I pay for those avocados here in Africa, okay? So, balance, yeah? So truth and honesty, those principles, we need to get them back. People lying to each other, deceiving each other, you know, hurting each other, misleading each other, misguiding each other intentionally, going away from the principle of truth and justice, yeah? Truth, words, sound, power, yeah? Now they got us killing ourselves, lying to ourselves, destroying ourselves. Who said that? Music orphan. Now our kind is destroying itself. That is what I'm saying. This is why I'm here. It's time for us to have an over and come back to the principles, come back to the laws, come back to the ideals of Ma'at. Her ideals predate all religion. We had that first. And what? She's a woman, okay? She's a female goddess. She's a divine female. Florence Blackman says, we do vibrate on a different frequency, hence we are always under attack from all other nations. Boom! Sorry. I hope I didn't clap too loud into the mic. I'm sorry. Who said that? Florence. Florence, say it again, say it again, say it again. Florence Blackman, say it again, say it again, say it again. I'm going to say it again, Florence, okay? We do vibrate on a different frequency, hence we are always under attack from all other races. And the problem is that we are not staying within the principles of Ma'at within our own race. So sorry, before I got disturbed, I was telling you about the 4 people, okay? And this goes in line with this principle as well. So let me just show it. So they had the one piece, yeah, of bread. There's no more food left, no more food left. And there's 4 people, 4 black and 4 white, okay? And they have the bread. Now, the 4 black people, what do you think they did? This is according to this pastor, right? Okay, this is just, I think, an example that he was using. So the 4 people, I put it on my, if you saw my status today, then you'll know what I'm talking about. So the four black people, yeah, that was there. What did they do? They broke the bread into 8 pieces, okay? 8 pieces, okay? Thank you. Unnecessary lies and deception destroyed so many beautiful people. It's true. It is true. It is true. It is true. And all of our movements as well. Because they use lies and misdirection, misinformation, and propaganda and media deception in order to destroy us and our movements and our progress, especially our movements back to Africa, okay? I mean, I can say personally, I've seen all the character assassination that has been done on me, which for me, just as an individual, is completely out of all proportion. I'm not like Beyonce or anyone big. Do you understand, like that? But, you know, how can like one person make like 52 programs about me like, are you not well? Do you know what I mean? How can like some big vloggers be making, big vloggers who get millions and millions of views, be making a program about me? You know, and I've seen it. I just like, why? You know? But, you know, it helps. It all helps with BlaXit. So let them keep doing it, you know? We've had what 9.9 million posts on TikTok. So, you know, thank you very much. Thank you for the exposure. You know, so colonized and gentrifiers globally have gone wild. It's absolutely true. That's Music Orphan. Thank you so much. Music Orphan said unnecessary lies and deception destroyed so many beautiful people. Anyway, so the black group, okay, cut it into 8. So there's 8 of them, right? So they cut the bread into 8 and shared it. What do you think the white group did? They cut it into 4. Let that sink in. Let that sink in, okay? They cut it into 4. So let me just use a card or something, right? So I got 1 piece of bread, okay? Pretend this is bread for me, yeah? I want you to imagine that this is bread. Now, the black people had this bread, right? It's 1 piece of bread, and there's 8 people, and no one else can eat. This is the last piece. They cut the bread, right? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 7, 8. I'm not sure if I can get 8 pieces out of this. Let me see. Yeah, I can. Okay. So they cut it into, and this is why I said we need the principles of my art again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they cut this 1 piece of bread into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces and gave 4 to the white people, okay? And they kept 4 for themselves. See? Now the white man had the same piece of bread. Okay, here it is. You know what he did? He looked to his left, he looked to his right, he saw his own family, his own people, and he cut the same piece of bread into 4 pieces, fed themselves, and didn't care about the black man. Yeah? You see these 4 pieces? Let this be a reminder to you of their mindset. They put themselves first. Yeah? These 4 pieces, right? Pretend this is bread. This is what they do. They put themselves first. We have to stop putting other people first. Marcus Garvey said race first. Race first. After you look after your own race, if you want to help others, fine. Yeah, but we have to help ourselves first. I'm tired of seeing these celebrities. What do they go and do? They help all other nations and leave out their own. Do you understand? I'm tired of it. Coral Father, how are you? Yeah. Links 101, how are you? Yeah. Thank you for joining the live. Thank you for joining. So when we are talking about these principles, right, they've turned us into liars. I'm just going to say, you know, where we lie for the simplest reason, just to sometimes because we're uncomfortable having conversations, challenging conversations. We're uncomfortable saying, you know, I wasn't able to do that. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to do it later. I was, you know, sabotaged, or this happened, or that happened, and let it be honest. But no, we're getting caught in their whole perception of falsehood. That's what a lot of their made up TV programs and this and that, because they sell us a lie. They sell us a lie. When you go and live in their societies, it's not exactly like what it looks like when you go on the television. Do you know what I mean? When I went to New York for the first time, it was a long, long time ago, but I had these dreams of New York after seeing it on TV. And when I got there, it was like the biggest disappointment that I ever had. It was just like completely different to what I thought it was going to be. Okay. I'm not saying now because it was a long time ago, but I'm just saying that when I went there, that's how I felt. Okay. I've been to other places in America that, you know, I had a great time in, and that was nicer. But I mean, like I said, the vibration I thought it was going to be, you know, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. So anyway, not to say that's now, and I'm not dissing where anybody lives. I'm just saying that for me, in my own personal opinion, that's how I felt. The second principle was balance, which is called whipped, yeah, or whipped, Yeah, and Ma'at presents the idea of equilibrium. Yeah, equilibrium. Yeah, and that is equilibrium in the universe and also society, and it signifies, and that's another thing, they got us thinking that, you know, we're the only people that exist in the whole universe. Total bull, you know, that is completely not true, completely not true. We are not the only beings that exist, you know, in the whole universe. Okay, it's not possible. Okay, equilibrium in the universe and within society, and it signifies that we need to maintain harmony, very important, yeah, between opposing forces and to avoid extremes. Very important, very important. Music Orphan said, is Afroland people, four corners of the earth, all benefit of our bread across the globe, but we are the bread that has been feeding. Yes, yes, feeding them with our concern, spirit and flesh. Yeah, I agree with you. Everyone benefits from Africa. Everybody. Where would the world be without Africa? Where would the world be without all of the things that Africa produces? Where would the world be without all of the natural resources from Africa? Let's just use Nigeria, for example, and let's talk about the oil from Nigeria, right? Nigeria should have had its own refinements and filtration plants. Okay, they should have been processing the oil, not letting people take the raw product out of their country. They should have had their own, you know, refineries. From how many years has Nigeria been selling oil? But they let people take the oil and then bring it back into them at a higher price. No, it makes no sense. How much money you've been getting from these companies is not enough to build your own national refinery, so that they have to buy the finished product from you at a higher price. You know, this makes sense. This makes sense. And that's why I said there's balance. And not only that, the distribution of the profits from those natural resources has to be, you know, distributed among the whole nation. Yeah? Not between, you know, invested greedy individuals, which is what they've essentially trained us to be, to follow their greedy mentality, you know, and that is what it is. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we do have to look after ourselves first. We do, and that is not called greed. It's called self-preservation. Yeah, because when they take these little pieces, how long are they going to survive for on these little pieces? Yeah, they're going to survive for much longer on these big pieces. Oops, sorry. On these big pieces. They're going to be eating these big pieces, which they can cut up into 8 little pieces themselves, which they can then survive on for an extra 4 days. You know, they're not silly. They can cut it up into another 4 pieces, which they can have for themselves. Look, see? What can we do? Yeah? Look, they can cut 1 into 4 and share it and have it for another how many days? Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah? They can have it for how many other days? Look. While we give it away. We have to stop giving it away. We have to cherish what we have. We have to provide, we have to pride, and we have to, sorry, did I say pride? I meant to say we need to be careful and make sure that we provide, not pride, we provide for ourselves. Only then, after we can provide for ourselves, can we then provide for others. So this is why, okay? So I talked about balance and trust, and I talked about, you know, the truth as well, because we're lacking trust because we lack the truth. We're lacking balance because we're going from extremes, because we're not being focused, we are not being directed in the right way, because they don't want us to be. Why aren't we being taught the principles of Ma'at at school? Why aren't we being taught the principles of Ma'at at home? They're not the same. I'm going to go through all of them today, yeah? They are not the same. This for me is not sitting here looking at how many people are watching. It's about getting the information out there, because I feel that I have an obligation and duty to do so, because African principles existed eons ago, but they don't want you to know. So we have our own set of principles that guide us. We have our own guidelines. We don't have to watch them. We don't need their laws. We've got our own laws. We don't need their constitution. We can create our own constitutions. Why are we still living by colonial constitutions and colonial laws? Ask me. Why are we still living by, you know, their economic determination? Why are we still living by their direct rule indirectly? Yeah. So next is number 3, a pep, which is order. Yeah. And a pep was a snake which represented chaos. And that is what they want you to live in, chaos. But no, we need to live in order, because we've been out of order. They're trying to tell you that man is woman and woman is man. What did... Oops, nearly swore. Sorry. Yeah? What? That's chaos. You know? That is chaos. Okay, watching the Hawks. Nigeria doesn't write its own constitution despite having educated society and people. There we have it. There we have it. Thank you so much for saying that, watching the Hawks. Yeah. If I've missed a few of your comments, I will come back. I've been saying this for decades. Thank you, Linda. Preach it. Linda, preach it, preach it, preach it. Write it, write it, write it. Give me a few more thumbs up, please, if you don't mind. I would appreciate it. Yeah, please. Yeah. Hit that thumbs up button for me, please. Okay, right. So we talked about order. This is the principle. I didn't really touch on this. This is where we stopped. We stopped at balance, yeah? So like I said, we're not living with truth. We've come out of truth. We're just lying to each other, yeah? And we're lying about our reality. We're lying about our lives. We're lying about what really makes us happy. We don't even realize what does make us happy, because most of us are living in misery, pretending to be happy. Again, that's the truth, yeah? A lot of us are living out of balance, out of kilter. But you know, we're thinking that we're just having to survive. Having to survive, living to survive is not balance. They got this thing called work-life balance. Why do they call it work-life balance, but they don't give it to you? They call it work-life balance, but they don't give it to you. You understand? Yeah? So a pep, this is the order that refers to established cosmic and societal order. Cosmic and societal order, which is divinely ordained. Do you hear it? Divinely ordained. It emphasizes the importance of adhering to established rules and structures. Established rules and structures. And we are living in order, or are we living in chaos? Tell me in the comment section. Are we living in order, or are we living in chaos, or are we out of order? That's what I want to know. Because order wants to preserve the world, right? Order wants good in the world. Order wants what's natural, what's moral, what's good. Chaos seeks to destroy the world and the very earth and its people. So tell me, well, who are we? Are we the people of order, or are we the people of chaos? Tell me. Tell me, are we living in order, or are we living in chaos? Tell me about this new vaccine that they want to bring out. Tell me about this new, I'm so glad that President Ibrahima Traore of Burkina Faso has rejected the malaria target vaccine. Thank you so much. I love that man so much. I love that man so much for standing up for us and for standing with us. And now they want to introduce a new vaccine to Kenya and to Nigeria, an 8-year contraceptive. 8-year contraceptive. I kill them, one kill we. Why don't they go and experiment on their contraceptives in America? No, I'm not dissing anyone in America. Please don't run. I'm not saying that they should do it on black people. No. I'm talking about let them experiment on themselves and their rats and what have you. You understand? Yeah, music often said good divine order versus chaotic. Absolutely. Sadly, complete chaos. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. That's why I follow your channel. You're keeping it real. Thank you so much. Yeah. Mark Odua says more grace. Thank you, Mark. Hello, Mark. So JB said stay away from the contraception. Yes, that me I say. Sorry. Mark, you make me talk it now. That's exactly what I am saying. 8-year contraceptive. That's chaos. Can you imagine what that will be doing to a woman's body? Watching the Hawks says UNICEF control African education system. The organization dictates school curriculum. Boom! Thank you so much. Watching the Hawks. That's why I said we have to bring back the principles of Ma'at into our homes ourselves. These are just the 7 principles. I haven't even gone through the 42 rules yet. Okay, and you know, I kind of missed one as well. You know, I was rushing to do it for today's show, but you know, we'll manage. Yeah, why can't Africa create their own vaccines? In fact, you know what drives me crazy is that Africans are the inventors of vaccines. Boom, boom. It was Africans who left Africa that went to America that created vaccines. Now, I ask you, how does this make any sense? I don't know. Yeah? But what makes it even more scary, right? And for us to live by our own laws is because they create their own laws. Okay? Let me say it again. They create their own laws. Yeah? I remember saying, I think it was by what's his name? David Rockefeller. And he said, I don't care who I don't care about the money. Just let me create their laws. Something like that. Anyway, right? Because once you got the law, you got control. And that's the thing. We are letting them have our laws. When we have our own laws, we have our own laws, which predated their laws, predated their Magna Carta. Ma'at's laws predates the Magna Carta, predates the Bible, predates the ancient religions. It's our own ancient principles. And we have them. And they left them for us. Our ancestors left them for us as a guide stone. But we're moving away and living by their rules, their laws. What for? What for? You understand? Because they created their own laws. Slavery was legal. Slavery was legal. Slavery was legal. Okay? And let me tell you something, right? 1956? Was it 1956? Yes, 1956 is when the UN, listen, look how long slavery has been out, okay? So we're talking from the 1400s, okay? Slavery. And in 1956 is when the UN then decides to bring out a supplementary law, all right? It's called a convention, supplementary convention in 1956, outlawing slavery globally. 1956. Think about it. They've been enslaving us since the 1400s, right? And if you look at even the other epochs of slavery, 1200s. But look how long. But when did they then put it in? They put it after what? After the Berlin Conference. Okay, after. Look how long after the Berlin Conference did they then put it in? After they then colonized and cut up Africa. Okay? So, you know, when we're talking about it, slavery was a legal institution, right? Until it was abolished, right? Allegedly in 1865 during, I think it's the 13th Amendment. Okay? And they replaced it with prisons. Okay? You know, in 1526, Europe increased slavery. Okay? But I will match this. I will match this and their behaviors, right, to the 14 laws of Ma'at. And you tell me who's righteous and who's unrighteous, who is right and who is wrong, okay? Who is standing in order and who is living in chaos. Because we need to start living by our own laws. This is what I'm trying to tell you. We need to start living by our own laws, and no one can stop you because you are a sovereign being, okay? So next we have harmony. So we've gone from order. So we started with truth, we went to balance, we went to order, now we're going to harmony. How many of us are living in harmony? I'm living in harmony, I must admit, I ain't gonna lie. I am now. I should say that I'm living here. I wasn't living in harmony in England. I had too much races. Them races didn't give me no harmony, yeah? They used to beat me up, everything. Well, not beat me up because I was a good fighter. I would fight back. But when they used to gang up on me, that's when I got beat up once. I'm not gonna lie, I got beat up badly once. You know, them white boys. It was boys, you know, it wasn't even girls and boys, it was boys. Can you imagine? But anyway, I live to tell the tale, I live to tell the tale, right? So harmony, Heka. Ma'at promotes peaceful coexistence. Now tell me, do these people live coexistently with anybody? Who started the First World Wars? Yeah? Peaceful coexistence. I'm going to say it again. Ma'at, right? This is Heka. This is harmony, Heka, right? This is the principle of harmony, Heka. Teach your children. Tell your friend them, yeah? This is how we're supposed to live among one another. This is how we're supposed to live, you know, as brethren to brethren, sister to sister, yeah? From African to African, one black person to another. This is how we're supposed to live, yeah? In harmony, in peaceful coexistence and cooperation. How many times we don't cooperate with each other? In fact, we work against each other. Oh, she's doing well. Let's try and, you know, badmouth her or do something against her. Let's pray on her downfall. Let's hope that, oh, you know, that this happens to her or that happens to her. I don't like her new car. I hope she crashes it. Do you know what I mean? This is it. Too much bad mind. But I'm going to get into that because that's one of the laws as well. Right? Harmony, right? Cooperation, working among one another, doing things together, right? We're as individuals, also within a community and the environment, and it's encouraging respectful relationships. How many of us have been in disrespectful relationships? I can put my hand up. I've been in disrespectful relationships. You know, entirely disrespectful beyond disrespect that I couldn't believe. And I'm a person that I don't tolerate disrespect. I will walk, because if you're going to disrespect me, you don't need to be around me. It's simple, yeah? If you're going to disrespect I, you don't need to be near I, because at the end of the day, it tells me you ain't got no respect for yourself. We need to at least have a modicum of respect for each other so that we can have respect for self. And once you've got respect for self, you have respect for one another. You understand? At the end of the day, respectful relationships are important, and the avoidance of conflict. That is a Ma'at rule. How many of us were raised in homes where there was argument against argument, conflict? Yeah? How many? Yeah? How many of us lived in homes where, you know, they were quick to take out the belt rather than quick to talk? How many of us lived in homes where there was punishment? How many lived in homes where blows were exchanged between their parents? Because we were not living by these rules, we need to bring them back. Bring back Ma'at. Yeah, bring back Ma'at. This is what I'm saying, and this is harmony, Heka. Okay? How many African countries have initiated wars between 700 and 2020, especially during the scramble for Africa, the invasion and conquest? They used religion for the conquest, because you know what? They conned us about their quest. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They conned us. Conquest, they conned us about their quest. Yes? Because between 1880 and 1914, European nations quickly went to colonize almost the entire African continent. You hear? Between 1880, just imagine this space of time, 1880 and 1914, they colonized nearly the whole of the African continent. And in the 1884 Berlin Conference, they regulated it. They regulated the colonization of Africa, okay? They started with their informal imperialism, and then they went to military interference, and then they went to economic domination, and now they have direct rule, okay? They have direct rule. And this is what I'm saying to you, right? This is the reason why we may create harmony, but we are invaded by people who do not support harmony. They do not. They do not. And we have to acknowledge this. We have to understand this. We love harmony, but we are not surrounded by people who do. Okay? So this aspect of Ma'at is very important. This is the law, okay? The law of Ma'at. We had our own laws. This is what I've been saying. And law is called Sekem, okay? This aspect of Ma'at encompasses the legal and ethical codes that governed African society. This encompasses the legal and ethical. And I'm going to tell you, because slavery was legal, but was it ethical? No, it was not. Tell me in the comment section. I want to come to the comments. I want to come to you now. Yeah? Tell me. There's a difference between legal and ethical. Because slavery might have been legal, but it was not ethical. It was not, and still is not. And we still do not have our justice. We do not have reparations till today, 2025. They were taking money out of my taxes when I was in England up until 2015 to pay back compensation to the slave owners through Her Majesty's Treasury. That's why we need our own laws. We need our own law demanding reparations. That's why I said we need the African Unity Order of Compliance, or African Compliance Unity Order, whatever order, as long as we have that order, because that will call them to account. We need our own African Compliance Order. I said it and I'll say it again. I outlined the compliance order before. If I have chance, I'll go over it again. But this is why I say it. People might say, oh, Juliet, no. No, I am a self-appointed stateswoman for the diaspora, talking for us, for Africa, and I will talk it, because you know what? I didn't ask no one to put me, I put myself. Okay? Now, this aspect of Ma'at is so important, because we need to govern our own societies. We cannot be led by their example anymore, okay? Allow it. We cannot be led by their example anymore. We have to go back to our own African principles, because their codes of society, just look at their society, hello? They are doing all kinds of nastiness and wicked things. Right? Nastiness and wicked things. Destruction and murderation, and they're influencing our people. You know, I watched one video with this man, a black man, who, you know, they're turning us mad, right? Turning us mental. Got on a tube train in England and dropped his trousers, you know, and dropped his pants, showing his, you know what I'm saying, his under private parts to everybody on the train. And they attacked this man, and they got this man off the train. The man's not mental, not right in his mind. You understand? This is what these places are doing to us. They're turning us crazy, because wrong is right and right is wrong. They're turning everything upside down, inside out. So we need our own law. We need our own ethics. Yeah, we really do. I can't stress it enough. Right? It imports the importance of justice and fairness in all interactions. That is what she said. Ma'at, this aspect of Ma'at, law, Sekem, the aspect of Ma'at, I think this is so important, encompasses the legal and ethical codes that govern African society. It highlights the importance of justice and fairness in all interactions. We've not had justice and we've not had fairness. No, we haven't. Her legal was slavery, but it wasn't ethical. Okay, look at colonization. It was legal, but it's not ethical, right? Because it depends on who makes your laws. Okay, the question is, how many African countries still embody colonizer laws and the colonizer and their constitutions? No ratification, no change. They still have the reign and powers of control. Let me go through your comments, okay, before I go through the very last principle, which is morality. And I kind of want to break morality into the virtues, because morality is based on virtue, okay? Okay, so watching, sorry, I'm just going back for your comments. I'm so sorry if I've missed some. Sorry, my phone's frozen. I'm really sorry. I can't see your comments. My phone's frozen. I'll come back to you, okay? So morality is called ma. So it's without the T. It's ma'at without the T, ma'a, okay? So ma'at is morality. And we need morality right now. Let me tell you something here. I saw something on YouTube, right? And I used to listen to a rapper called Nas. I don't know if you remember Nas, okay? But I used to listen to a rapper called Nas. Anyway, something had come up with Nas. So I thought it was Nas, right? Because I thought, oh, Nas has got a new tune or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So I thought, let me watch this thing on Nas. And then it's got some Nas Little X or something. I didn't know who this dude is. I never even heard of him before, right? Maybe I'm out of the loop. Maybe I'm old or something. What's his name? Nas X or something? I don't know. Little X or Little Nas, something like that. So I thought, oh, maybe it's Nas's son or whatever. And it's this guy, and he's like, he's completely delulu. Delulu, walking in pants down the road, like, you know, and he's completely like, you know what I mean, batting for the other team. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, no. We have to come back to morality. Certain actions that are happening now are immoral. I don't care. It's not natural. It's going against natural law. Wrong is wrong and right is right. We have to stop blurring. We have to stop blurring it. You understand? Man is out there flagrantly. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I was disgusted. I just was, oh my God. Listen, it disturbed me. I'm telling you, these things traumatize me because it is not normal behavior. It's not normal. It's not normal. They're putting some hormones and some stuff in the water. They're putting something in the water because they're turning like men's hormones going crazy or something. Because how can it be 1 in 10 people in the US is batting for the other team? 1 in 10. Something is going wrong. 1 in 10 people are on the ABC crew. LGBTQRSTUVWXYZ. Q. R. Whatever. 1 in 10. How is it? How is it in America? 49.7 women are single. I'm sorry if many of you dropped off. I do apologize. I seem to have lost connection. Probably the topic of choice. But anyway, I was just saying that, you know, morality is important. I'll probably end on morality, and we'll go to the 42 laws, yeah, after, because it's over an hour already. So we'll go to the 42 laws next week. So base it out, because it is a lot to talk about. So morality is so important because Ma'at embodies, a strong knowledge of ethnic conduct. Yeah, did I say ethnic? I meant to say ethical. There you go. Maybe it wasn't such a slip. Okay, because Ma'at embodies a strong, because it is ethnic. Certain things are ethnic because there's certain laws here which don't allow certain behaviors. You know, certain behaviors are illegal here. Yeah, homosexuality is illegal in the Gambia, okay? It just is. So it is ethnic in a sense, okay? And many African countries embody the same law. So it is. So, you know, certain things they don't see as immoral. They see the homosexuality as immoral. It's just as simple as that, and that is their law. And I'm living here in Gambia, and I respect their law. Okay, so Ma embodies a strong knowledge of ethical conduct, yeah, and moral responsibility. It also encourages individuals, yeah, to act with virtue, right, and integrity in their daily lives. Okay, so virtue, right, and virtue. If you remember my art, it's you put this here, put a pen there. It's represented by the ostrich feather, say, which I've replaced with a pen because I don't have ostrich feather. But there you have it. Okay, so that is what it was represented by, was the ostrich feather. That's what represented virtue, and virtue meaning justice, fairness, harmony, right, in interpersonal relationships and social relationships. Okay, and reciprocity. Oh, Juliet, get it right. Reciprocity. I can always get tongue-tied with that word. Reciprocity. That means equal give and take, giving and receiving. Okay. It means propriety. Propriety is about acting properly. Acting properly. What I saw that Naz do down the road, right, is not acting properly. How can you be walking down the road in your pants and boots? No. How can man be taking off trousers on train? No, you know, acting with kindness and honesty. You know, how many times are we mean to each other, even mean to our own selves? You know, we forget what it is to be kind because we're living in a society that makes you want to hog everything for yourself. I'm not saying, you know, that these people, when I was showing you this, they were being kind to their own self. They were being kind to their own self. We were being mean to our own self because we cut it up into so much pieces. We didn't even have enough for ourselves. You get me? We didn't even have enough. They had these big pieces. We had these little small pieces because we didn't even have enough for ourselves. Because we're giving to others. Okay? So morality is so important because it means you act also with integrity. Integrity is also important. Integrity is not just doing what you say you're going to do. That is part of integrity, but that's not the full amount of integrity, yeah? It is respect for others' property, okay? That is so important, okay? And peacefulness and gratitude, yeah? Morality is also like right and wrong, good and bad behavior, yeah? The life you live with your family values, right? Be acceptable of honest behavior, not stealing, not lying, not killing, yeah? Not trying to destroy each other. We need to have a moral compass again. You know, how many people killing each other for what? For walking on the wrong sidewalk, for being in the wrong location, for being, do you understand? Because my friend doesn't like you. I mean, I was watching one post on social media where this man killed this man, shot this man, sorry, he didn't kill him. Ugh, Juliet, rewind. Sorry, he shot this man, it's his best friend, best friend. Imagine this, your Cody, your friend, your best friend. He shot him for his girlfriend because he wanted his girlfriend. Now I ask you, moral compass. Where is your moral compass? How can you shoot someone who's supposed to you want the girlfriend, and then when you call the person to say I need help, that you should have been dead? Where is the logic? Where is the kindness? Where is the compassion? I can't even remember. It's this famous rapper guy. I can't remember his name, right? But moral compass, guiding people to live a virtuous life, ensuring a balanced existence. Yeah? That's embracing the 42 laws of Ma'at. Integrity is honest, consistent. How many of us are inconsistent? We're all over the place. We're not consistent. We overpromise and underperform. And sometimes we go out and we sabotage someone else to make sure they can't get it just because we can't have it. Because we would know that if that person got it, they'll be more consistent than us. We badmind them. Yeah? We should be uncompromising in adherence to strong moral and ethical principles and values. Yeah, integrity, honest, consistent, uncompromising adherence to strong moral and ethical principles and values. Yeah, that's what we need. We're not virtuous. They say patience is a virtue, but right now it's like we're waiting for what? It's time to shake up and wake up, Africa. Time to wake up and shake up. You understand? I'm sorry, because when we're talking about morality, did these people, Belgium, France, Germany, America, Portugal, Spain, England, did they have any integrity or morality or virtue when they enslaved, killed, destroyed, stole, kidnapped, tortured, demolished African nations and African people and enslaved them? Did they? That's all I've got to say, right? We coming away from who we are. The last one, the last principle is Neb. And Neb means justice, and it's time for us to get justice. It is time for us to get justice. It's like I wrote a post today. I put on my status saying that we've got amnesia. We've got amnesia. No, we cannot have amnesia. We cannot forget what was done to our ancestors. We cannot have amnesia because we are still carrying that trauma. And I'm going to talk about that. Hopefully, the week it will be up the next week's show. Not the, you know, I might do a live in between. I don't know if you're up for that. Let me know. I can't see your comments now. You know, I don't know why they've gone off the screen. But I might do a show, another live. This week. In fact, I might try and double up on lives because I think I've got a lot to talk about, a lot to cover, and I don't think that, you know, Sundays is enough. So I think if you agree to it, give me a date or time, night or time that is agreeable to you. WhatsApp me +220 240 5273. You know what date and time in the week will be agreeable for you for us to do another live, because like it's hard to patch everything in because I've got so much to share, so much knowledge that I want to share, and I don't even hit on a lot of things, you know. I really don't. I really don't. And so justice is Neb, okay? And this is the principle that emphasizes the fair and equitable treatment of all. But we don't get that. Why is it black people all over the world don't get that? Why don't we get fair and equitable treatment? Why is it we are always set upon? Why is it we are always fast to be killed in the hands of other nations? Why is it we are always fast to be put in prisons by the hands of other nations? Why is it there's one justice for them and another one for us? Why is it, you know, mothers and children are unfairly treated within education systems and care systems, social services systems? Why is it we're not giving the same care in hospitals? Why is it, you know, it's pre-proposed that the stereotype of the black man always fits some kind of negative phenotype of black man, never a positive stereotype of a black man? Why can't he be a professor instead of a criminal? So how is that fair to all? So we have to live within the justice of Neb. We have to ask for those we don't know. We have to demand those reparations. We have to demand our justice for our ancestors. We have to demand the justice for ourselves, because there wasn't just slavery. There was Jim Crow. There wasn't just slavery. There was segregation, which in some ways I think might have been better for our nation. There was all of the legacy, the sharecropping that stole your 40 acres and a meal. Where's the justice in that? Where's the justice in, you know, what happened in Wrightsville with those boys locked in the dormitory? Where's the justice in black men because they didn't have money being put into prison because they were seen as, what was it? I've forgotten the law that they used. It will come back to me in a second. Right? It will come back to me. But what I'm trying to say is that the principle of justice and Neb, which is our principles, our law. This is African law I'm talking about. This is ancient African law that I'm talking about. We have our own. Okay, the principle and emphasis of justice is fair and equitable treatment of all individuals under the law. It is the foundation for all harmonious and stable society. But we're not living in harmonious, stable society. When we live in the West, we're not living in stable, harmonious, stable societies. When we're living in the West, we are not. We're treated very, very unfairly. And I want to talk about that because I want to talk about, oh no, you don't want to say, because then someone else might take my show. So anyway, but the principle was not just abstract concept. Justice is not just an abstract concept, but it is actively practiced. It was actively practiced by us and upheld by us. It was upheld by rulers, individuals, and of course the gods and goddesses, because this comes from the goddess Ma'at. And she was seen as the driving force that maintained this order and harmony, ensuring that the well-being of everybody, including divine and human realms, okay, including the both realms, both divine and human, okay. So it didn't just apply to them; it applied to us. Okay, so I've got like two versions of the Ma'at principles. I guess I'll go through them next week because we're nearly at 1 hour 22 minutes. Yeah, but I got them from a papyrus called Anai, which is Anubis papyrus. Okay, which was translated, yeah, into the duet, which was the provision of how you were judged, whether you would enter the afterlife or not. But and there's 42 divine principles of Ma'at, 42. But I don't think I'm going to have time to go through all 42 now. We just about got through the principles. But how do you feel about it? Guys, yeah, there's a lot. So we'll go through them next week if that's okay. But this is what I'm saying. We have to get back in alignment. We need to get back in alignment with our own principles and our own laws, our own African ways of being, right? Because the Eurocentric way is not working for us. It just is not. We've got brother killing brother, sister killing sister, yeah? Brother robbing brother, sister robbing sister, you know, sabotaging, damaging, hurting each other intentionally, trying to destroy each other. You know, there are certain rules that we need to add. Dr. Julius Marcus Garvey. Dr. Julius Marcus Garvey. How are you? Sorry, he just popped up. And also, just before I go, I did mention that there is a Hollywood A-lister, right, whose name I would love to mention. I just want to get permission first. I don't want to just go and put it out there. Do you know what I mean? Because you don't know, what film they got next. So say, are you on BlaXit? And then it will affect their career. Because Julia is pro-Africa, pro-Black. I love my people, love you all. I love you so much. Yeah. But yeah, there is a Hollywood A-lister. I'm so proud, right? Look, ching ching. I didn't realize BlaXit had so much coverage, had so much leverage. But there is someone who I really respect who's been in, let's give you some clues, some big, like, blockbuster movies. This man is, I have respect for him because he stands by what he stands on. He hasn't worn no dress. You know what I mean? He hasn't acted as no homosexual in no film. This is a proper A-lister actor from Hollywood who watches BlaXit. Would you believe it? Yeah? And is proud of BlaXit and what BlaXit is doing, and wants us to carry on doing what we're doing. So this is for you, because I wouldn't be here on a Sunday if it wasn't for you. So that A-lister, Hollywood blockbuster A-lister who is watching BlaXit, viewing BlaXit and loves the content, it's because of you as well, because you motivate me and inspire me to do what I'm doing today and why I'm here today. So I want to thank you, and I want to thank you. You know who you are. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching BlaXit. I so appreciate knowing that we have that leverage. It's very important because it means that we're having influence in we're having influence in a much larger scope than I know, because obviously when you're shadow banned, your views, your subscriptions, everything is skewed. It's not accurate. It's not accurately shown because of your content. And I know that we've been shadow banned. I just know it because when I did a test, which was the price we paid freedom, we got 480,000 odd views. So you can't just jump from 480 or 1,000 views. So anyway, just because we're being shadow banned doesn't mean you still can't support us. Don't look at the numbers, just be here. Because when we've stopped looking at numbers, what's important to us is the fact that you're here and I'm here. What's important to us is that we are continuing to do what we're doing, okay? And that is really, really important. There's something else, which is another project, which once it is done, I will be rolling that out to you on this channel soon. But as you know, because of bad mind people, I have to hold back on certain projects and things that we're doing. But I do want to remind you that we do still have repatriation plots in Khartoum, okay? They are beautiful. They're riverside plots, absolutely beautiful. I will put the program back out on the community page again so you can see it if you haven't seen it already, okay? So don't worry about the shadow banning. Let's just keep on going. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because it really helps me. If you could give me some more thumbs up, it does help with the algorithm, because people aren't getting our notification of our programs, or they're not getting notifications of our community channel, our community posts either. So please do that. I want to say that I love you all so much. I hope that you enjoyed today's live. I hope that you gain something from it, which is, why I'm here, is to share that information, okay? And we covered the 7 principles, okay, of Ma'at that we need to embrace. And these principles predate all religions, okay? These are our principles. These are African principles. These are made by our goddess, because they want to tell you everything is like imbalanced. And that's another thing. They want to get rid of the woman, okay? They want to get rid of the woman and give you just, man to man. No, yeah? It's man and woman. We stand together. We stand firm. We love each other. We respect each other. Yeah, we work together. We unite together. Give me some hearts, right? We have to be together, okay? That is the balance. That is the balance, okay? And she has brought this balance. So we had the 7 key principles, which were truth, the jed, balance, but yeah, order, a pep, right? And remember, the antithesis is that it's a set, like I told you, okay? Which is, they want the opposite to that. They're the antithesis of that, okay? That's what they are. They are the antithesis of that. And it's Isfet, I-S-F-E-T, Isfet. They are the opposite to that. They are antithesis of Ma'at. What they want, right, is chaos, violence, and evil. We do not want this. We do not want this. Okay, so what we want is truth, the jed. What we want is balance, webet. What we want is order, pep. What we want, right, is so important to us, right, is order. We need that order. Pep is very important to us. We need harmony. We do, because we need love among each other. That's very important, okay? We need morality. Yeah, we do. We need that. That's very important. We need our own laws, and we need our own justice. On that note, I'm going to, remind you that if you want to come to Africa, you want to repatriate, please just text me or email me. Email me info@blaxithome.com, or you can text line us on WhatsApp +220 2405273. We can help you make that all-important jump to come and live peacefully, happily, and in harmony within the principles of Ma'at in Africa. So come and join us, yeah? Don't be scared, get in touch. That's +220 240 5273. And a big shout out to all my A1s, day ones. Thanks so much. Thank you, moderator Caffrey. Thank you, everybody that joined. To all of the returning BlaXit subscribers who have just joined us on today's live, who've been away for a while, welcome back home. Yeah, it's every Sunday at 3 o'clock. I would like to do an extra one during the week. So get back to me and let me know when do you think a good time for us to do an extra live would be, so we continue with this engagement, because there's so much information and I don't think just Sundays is long, because that's why we're going over and over and over time. So lives are supposed to be like within the hour, and going over because there's so much information to share and I'm still not getting it all out. So we'll go through the 42 laws, and then there's something else very special that I want to cover. Okay, very, very, very special. So I'll be doing that the week after. So stay tuned, stay with us, and I love you. Remember, one Africa, one destiny, one unity. Okay, one love. I love you, and keep loving yourselves too and respecting yourselves. Remember that, be proud to be African all day, all night, every minute. Yeah, being African is pure delight. Okay, so love yourselves. Okay, remember, black is beautiful. Okay, be powerful, be strong. We keep going on.